KUR-COW is a smaller tourism operation focusing just on our cattle management and the activities that you would expect on a farm.
Now, when you started putting this concept together, and that's 2 years ago, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, correct.
But it's come to fruition now, I think, in a magnificent way. What did you hope to achieve from day one, and how did you do it?
We basically sat around and looked at, what sort of experience people really expected when they come to Australia. We had the working cattle property, and we just built it from there. We went with things that were interactive, and we just wanted to get people closer to the action, really. So as you experienced yourself, you hand feed 700 kilo cattle, and they're like pets.
Mm. I know, it's bizarre, isn't it, for kids to get that close in perfect safety out in a paddock. To me, it's going to be a wonderful experience. By the way, the other point too, and I've got to mention this, when you go to the for example, to the Cairns show, one of the most popular, if not the most popular, of the experience is the petting zoo, the little animal farm, and that's what you've created up there as well, to a certain extent. Not identical, but similar.
Yeah, correct. Every time I take my young fella to the Cairns show, we spend an hour trying to get in there so he can pick up one of the little ducklings or hand feed one of the baby animals. And by creating the petting zoo that we have with all the baby farm animals, the kids are able to get in and pick the animals up and get an understanding from, where the milk comes from and where the eggs come from, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. And what animals have you got there in that section?
In that section, there's all sorts of poultry and the chickens and turkeys and ducks, and we've got guinea pigs, we've got alpacas, we've got little ponies, we've got water buffalo, we've got cattle dogs. It's endless. There's deer, there's all sorts of animals there.
Now, one thing I think people will need to be introduced to is the fact that this is still a working cattle station. It's the real thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't keep all of the herd there, obviously, because we have over, we have a couple of thousand cattle registered across the tablelands. But we do keep a small herd, and we showcase to people the actual type of cattle that we're developing and the different breeds that we're working with for our export market, and the ones that we also use for the local restaurant market, the high-end market as well.
Do you know, for KUR-COW, to me, the biggest attraction ultimately is going to be what you call the hayride. This is where, for example, families, kids especially, can learn all about the beef industry. When you're actually out in the paddock and you're within, half a metre if you want to be. In fact, you can get up and pat these cattle because they're very, very tame. But that's really a great way for young people to get up close and personal, if you like, with the actual beasts. Tell me how you put that concept together.
Yeah, we took some cattle buyers out a couple of years ago, and they just jumped on the back of a trailer, and we took them out at the paddock to show them some of the cattle that we had. And we thought, we'll stick a bit of feed on the back and get them close. And they come over. They're fairly quiet cattle to begin with, but now that we do this on a regular basis, they know exactly what's going on as soon as they see that wagon go up. But when we first saw it and the reaction from the people to the cattle coming right up and eating from their hands, we thought, well, hang on, we could develop this. And since then, the purpose-built wagons that we have that keep you out of the sun and the rain and, get you really close to the action, as you say, the cattle come right up to you, and those cows are fairly lucky. I don't think they're going to get sold off. I think they'll be just walking around that paddock getting fattened up for a while.
Well, they're like pets, aren't they?
They're like pets, yeah. They've got names now, some of them, so I don't think they're going to get eaten too soon. Well,
the other point that was impressive too, your stockmen, the whip-cracking stockmen, they're all part of the experience as well.
Yeah, and these are guys that have worked on stations, and they work with cattle. We didn't get people that worked in tourism and train them how to work with cattle. We've got real cattle people and horse people that are just welcoming people from overseas and locals alike, and it's the real deal. It's a real experience.
Yeah. You've got to introduce everyone when they come up on Sunday, your opening day, to Josh. He's a hell of a character, isn't he?
Yeah, yes, he is. He's your quintessential outback character, I think.
Yes.
He has the accent down,
Yes.
He sounds like your typical Aussie stockman.
Yeah, and he's got some great stories to tell too. Don't go away. That's not just about the cattle. Obviously, you've got this the horses as well, and that's a big part of the experience.
Yeah, we've developed, and we're working to put together a full equestrian centre, and we will develop a riding school for locals as well as letting internationals come and have a ride on a horse. So we've got a couple of products in the pipeline there. But initially what we've got is just a trail ride. And it's a 30-minute experience or a 1-hour experience. Most people are pretty well done in 30 minutes. If you haven't ridden a horse before, and sitting on a horse for an hour or so can be fairly painful for some people, and 30 minutes seems to work pretty well. And we've developed that with a loading platform, so you don't have to climb up onto a horse. You can actually just step straight onto a horse. So we've put a fair bit of work into training the horses and the staff to making sure that everybody has a safe and good time.
Now, I'm running down on time, Michael. We've got to cut to the chase. This coming Sunday, what have you planned?
We've got an invitation-only opening day. We're inviting a lot of the people who worked on the property and some VIPs and some guests that we've brought in. We've got a restriction on trade basically at the moment, where access to the property is only if we bring people in on a vehicle transfer, just because of the actual road at the moment. So we can't have people self-drive to the property, but we're working out the best ways we can use a shuttle service to take people from Cairns and from Kuranda over to the property. But we will have our grand opening this Sunday, yes, so that we'll be out and about more in the future with information on how people can come up and get access to the farm, and also for kids' parties and Christmas functions and all that kind of thing in the future as well.
So will the public have access to KUR-COW on Sunday, this coming Sunday?
No, not this Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you won't have the shuttle service in place by this Sunday?
I've only just got back and haven't spoken to the guys yet whether it's arrived, but if I have got one operating, I'll let you know.
All right, that's the best way to do it. Let us know by the end of the week.
Yep, correct.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
No, it's a great experience, Michael. Well done. Good to talk to you today. Thank you.
Thanks very much, John.
He's talking about KUR-COW, KUR-COW. Michael BOWMAKER's in charge up there. Look at the time. It's now on 24.